Fox. Very well, thanks for dropping by. Off you go.
So, I have a friend who is a former studio exec, and I've called him Lord Toranaga, from the TV show and novel Shogun, played by, this is Toshiro Mifune, who played him. And trust me, it works. He's got a friend at a particular studio, rather high up in the echelon. We will call him Mr. Fox. And Lord Toranaga asked him some questions, and Mr. Fox was very happy to answer them. And the answers I got are absolutely jaw-dropping, because it has to do with the Acolyte and IP copyrights. It's interesting that what he says is basically, if LFL is setting up accounts for production incentives without going through corporate, that would be a major issue right there. Because, and the Black Pill Blobs will not tell you this, Disney owns the IPs, not LFL. So if Leslie Headland was going out looking for partners without Disney's expressed approval, that would be a violation of copyright law. Now, that right there makes absolute sense that the five horsemen would be asking about that. And she had absolutely no right to negotiate outside of the Disney empire without Bob Iger's approval. So this is going to lead to a question: who provided the funds that came to help her film what she had, the $50 million? That would have likely fallen under KK's discretionary funds to create pilots and the like. But it seems awfully rich for that. Okay. On the other hand, if they got $300 million to fund the series in the hope they could force Disney to pick it up, they have likely lost money, as they have made what is, in effect, an unauthorized fan series that Disney could basically never allowed to be released. This is all speculation, you guys. We do not know what is going on here, and it's impossible because of Disney's practices overall, and it's highly unlikely, not likely, that anybody in the C-suite with green light power without going through Disney approval. And Lucasfilm's business affairs still goes through Disney corporate for final approval of all contracts, including, and I mean everything, talent, ancillaries. In short, without getting further insight, we don't know. This is just speculation. And it's very detailed. Like, there's strict limitations, the number of people you can bring over, hired locally in order to qualify, and nothing that we've seen that would indicate there were a lot of local hires. Headland was directing, writing, producing something that is not common at all with Disney, except for the most rarefied of people, which he is definitely not. We all know that. All right, so, and let's say they were shooting this series and using the IP without the approval of the C-suite at Disney. That would be enough for Kennedy to be dragged out and dumped off at the nearest waste plant. We don't know what kind of maximums Kennedy has available to her for shooting pilots without approval. That is not necessarily and completely unusual, although way too many series are no shot without going to pilot. This is the thing. We don't know if it was greenlit. We don't know where the money came from. $50 million isn't rich enough for an 8-episode series. They've given us a ridiculous, obviously a timeline that they were pulling out of their butt cheeks. Last January, late December, they were in the middle of filming episode 3, and then Star Wars Celebration episode 4, and then something else with, then like a month later, they were filming episode 5, and then a week later, they were finished. What the fuck? I mean, it's stuff like that makes you go, what? And it's stuff like that makes you understand that there's something wrong with this. And if they had $50 million, let's say Kennedy used her discretionary funds, even though I got to admit, for a pilot episode, that's almost too much money for that. And the reason is there's more to there's if you're doing a pilot episode to show Iger, you probably spend maybe $10 million. That's basically what Mandalorian episodes cost. Likely Ahsoka maybe more, but if you want to do something really spectacular, that's what you're gonna do. Okay.
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
So this is very interesting where the money came from. We do know that there's a smoking gun that was discovered. We do know that the Five Horsemen are flipping now mid-level people at Lucasfilm, and they're going to go up the tier to the story group. We do know now that they're making it life very difficult for people in the story group to do anything because they're signing humiliating tasks. But I gotta say this. The thing about what's going on here is that it isn't a coincidence that everybody that I've talked to that's in the business thinks there's something out of whack with the Acolyte. There's something wrong with it. Nothing that has gone on with this show seems to be a Disney, blessed project. And this is why, Tornaga asked Mr. Fox about what he thought it could be. Now, I'm going to say that Mr. Fox does have contacts all over Hollywood and the industry and connections, and he's going to do some casual general questioning of what's going on. I don't know if Tornaga told him about the lawsuit concerning Ms. McCarthy, but that would have probably been a kind of a red flag, and hopefully when this is seen by the players, they can kind of come up with an idea about how to ask about that kind of thing. Maybe it's too specific. I don't know. But why I wanted to make this video simply is this gave me a lot of insight in how Disney does its thing, and the fact that nothing concerning this TV show that no one wants seems kosher. Okay, so this is another, person, Mr. Fox, casual contact that kind of came to me, and actually not to me, but through Lord Toranaga, and I'm very glad for that, because I've got a better view of what the Five Horsemen might be doing to try to figure out where everything is going with this dumpster fire TV show, because I really think that's where Iger is having the Five Horsemen of the Bobpocalypse, as Doomcock likes to call it. That's what he's concentrating on, besides just bad behavior in general. And as Cameron said today in Doomcock's video that he put out there, it's not just that. It's malfeasance, incompetence. And to me, this whole thing with the Acolyte just seems criminal. That's all I can think of when I think of the show. Why anybody would greenlight it is beyond me. But I might go live to talk about the earnings call on Tuesday, because that may be a flashpoint to us hearing about things being canceled, and maybe the Acolyte will be one of them. So I hope you guys had a great weekend, and I'll be around. Maybe I'll go live later tonight and discuss other things. This is Steph signing out. I'll see you around the galaxy.